Hey YouTube, welcome to episode 2 of the Two Loons and a Fishing Boat channel. Since the last episode, Keith has all but finished the fuel locker, I've done some more work on the dashboard, and we went to our first ever boat jumble. We've also decided we want to get rid of the slatted floor and put in a nice smooth flat one that's more suited to fishing, and are in the research and planning stage, so stay subscribed for that in an upcoming episode. As ever, thumbs up if you like it, and tell us how much you love this channel in the comments below. Enjoy.
So now it's time to finish the inside of the fuel locker. I'm going to reroute the fuel hose from the fuel filter, so it's going to come out through this back wall and into the engine itself, so there's no trailing hoses anywhere like there was before. I measured the size of the hose and that was 14mm. Luckily I've got a Forstner bit that is 15mm, so I'm going to make the hole here now. There's the hole made. Now with the hole drilled, it's time to reroute the hose, so it'll go up in between that bulkhead. I have to take the Jubilee clip off, thankfully noticed before putting the hose in. Hose in, fitted onto the engine. Jubilee clip on before this time, thankfully. Plenty of slack for the movement of the engine, so as not to stress the hose or the engine fitting itself. And now for a tour of the all but complete fuel locker. As you can see, we've got the bilge pump in one corner, and in the back corner there's spare fuel tanks and one for the auxiliary engine that's got 2-stroke fuel in it. And there's the main fuel tank, that's also strapped down to stop it from moving. And over the other side there's a fuel filter that's been moved in from the outside. As you can see there's the webbing strap that will be replaced for a ratchet strap shortly. That goes underneath the fuel tank. Over the top, under the handle and into the buckle, making the tank nice and secure. Front there's a small wooden stop to stop it moving forwards and backwards. The only things left to do is to replace the hatch on top, add some vents to avoid any fuel fumes that build up. So the fuel hose comes out from the fuel filter, up through the bulkhead and out into the engine, leaving no trailing fuel hoses as we previously had.
So, I'm going to be continuing with the dashboard and fixing in the instrument panels. Now I'm only going to be using standard 9mm plywood, simply because I've got some kicking around the garage. Because it's not marine grade, I'm not expecting it to last as long as the rest of the dashboard, as that's made from hardwood of some sort, and therefore it's pointless gluing it in, as I'll probably be replacing it again, but hopefully not too soon. It doesn't need to look pretty, so I won't worry about countersinking the screws. With the panels in place, it's time to move on to the shelf. Again, this will be in standard 9mm ply. It's going to run the width of the existing dash and be about 8 inches deep, which will be enough to mount a GPS plotter, a fish finder and somewhere to boil the kettle when at anchor. Once I've marked it out, I'll be cutting it on the table saw, cleaning the edges along the grain with a small hand plane and the short edge, which are across the grain, with a file to avoid damaging the ply. I read somewhere, can't remember where, that ply edges can be sealed with PVA, which will hopefully make it last a bit longer. I guess we'll see. Then I'll simply screw the shelf onto the top of the dash, again not using any glue, but this time I will be countersinking the screws so that I can feel the heads to get a nice smooth finish ready for painting. To help support the shelf, I'm going to put in some treated batten, which for some reason I failed to record, but this was achieved by lining the batten up, marking the angles to cut and then screwing it in place, again countersinking the screws. I'm going to continue by putting in a small frame for a couple of reasons. It will help strengthen the shelf, and also provide the dashboard electrics a little bit of protection. I'm undecided at the moment if it's worth fully boxing it in, but we'll give that some thought a little later in the project. So first up is to scribe a small piece to fit flush along the side, so I'll get that marked up, cut and fixed in place. Oh well, we all make mistakes. Guess who forgot to take the shelf support into consideration when measuring up? Me.
So to make a change from working on the boat, we decided to go and visit a boat jumble. And this one was in Ardingly in East Sussex. We had a look around, there was quite a few things there, but not as much as we was expecting. We did pick up a few bargains though.